Hi again, welcome back. So in this lecture, you're gonna learn how to actually scale your ad set when you found a profitable one. Let's dive in. Alright, so you've gone through the strategy, you have made it past day 3, right? And you could see that, hey, my return on ad spend is 3 or greater on one of these ad sets. What does that mean? Well, that means that there are going to be some guidelines for how you can actually scale it, and that is going to be on page 4 in your template, right? The final page. So the first thing we're gonna do is go back and realize, okay, which one is it that we're gonna scale and which one aren't we gonna scale? Well, the one that we are going to scale, we're gonna keep it on, and the other two we're gonna turn off. So let's say that we're gonna turn these two off. I'm just gonna hit off just like that, and they are going to be shut off, and now we only have one going. So what does this mean? Well, that means that now we have two shut off and we have one that is actually profitable. So the only thing we're gonna do here is that we're gonna go ahead and click on duplicate, just like that. We're gonna be brought to this window once again. We're just gonna have one copy and we're gonna hit duplicate. We are gonna change the name of this one and we are gonna call it scaled, just like that. And I usually called it something like scaled $10, or if you just want to call it $10, whatever works, just as long as you know that this is the same version and it is being scaled. There we go. So then you're just gonna scroll down and you're gonna double it, right? So if we check this out, we're gonna first of all duplicate the profitable ad sets, only one in this case. We're gonna double the budget from $5 to $10, right? So scrolling down until we get to the budget part, which is right here, we're gonna change it from $5 to $10, just like that. And then we're just, my head is in the way, but in the lower right corner, I'm gonna hit publish. Once that's done, we're just gonna go up and we're gonna collapse this one. And then here we have it. So we have ad set 1 broad interest scaled $10, right? So now we have doubled this one and we have not removed this one. So the question is, why don't we just scale this one right away, and why do we create a different ad set? Well, the reason for that is because this ad set is already profitable and we do not want to play around with what is already profitable, right? However, scaling it to $10 does not mean that it's going to guarantee that it's going to be profitable, because now when we're opening up to grabbing in more of an audience, that might mean that there are more misses. So that might mean that this ad set is actually profitable, but scaling it to $10 is not profitable. That's gonna be interesting, right? So now what we're gonna do is that we're gonna wait until the amount spent on this one is at least a double to what we scaled it to, which is gonna be $20 in this case. And when we hit $20, we want to go to the right. We want to make sure that our ROAS is at 3 or below. If it is at 3 or below, we are going to go ahead and we're going to scale it again. We're going to hit duplicate, and this time we're going to double it once again to $20, right? Now, if it is on, let's say, 2.5, we're just going to leave it. And if it ever goes below 2, we are going to turn it off. So while we still have this ad set running and making us money, that gives us a time to do a test to see if we can scale it up and then earn more money. In a lot of the cases, by doubling it, you also still get to keep your ROAS at the same or around the same. So that means that you can potentially double the income from this ad set. If it continues to be profitable, you can double it, double it, double it. And before you know it, if you're striking one of those gold nuggets, you could be earning thousands of dollars from a single successful ad set, right? It might take a lot of ad set before you hit such a gold nugget, but when you do, those are worth its weight in gold, all right? So heading back here, it's pretty easy to understand once you actually get to apply it. All you do is you duplicate the profitable ad sets, whether that's 1, 2, or 3. You double the budget from 5 to 10, and then you check the data after you've spent $20, right? So that means that if your ROAS is at 3 or above, then you duplicate the new $10 ad set and set it to 20. And then the same is going to be with 20. Once you've spent $40, you're going to see if your ROAS is at 3 or above. If it is, you're going to duplicate that to 40. And then you're going to do the same to 80, 160. And if you're lucky, you're up in the $500 and $1,000 and scaling up, right? And you still have all of these other ad sets that are profitable running in the background, and if any one of those ever go below 2 in ROAS, any of the ad sets that you've left behind there, then you turn that ad set off, and that is done with. Now understand that ad sets do not live forever, but this is how we find profitable ad sets, and we continue using this strategy for new products, creating new ad set and then scaling those while they're successful, right? So that means you're going to get an income, and that income is going to allow you to try out more products and then scale those ad sets and then make a profit there and then try out more products. And before you know it, you're going to have a lot of different ad sets running, probably for a lot of different products, and just keep an eye on, okay, where is the ROAS on these different ad sets? And then that is going to be your income, my friends. All right. So that is how it works, right? We need to keep an eye on the ROAS. And if you ever want to go back to the default view for some reason, remember, you can click on column and go to performance, which is the default here. And if you want to go back to continue follow this strategy, you go down where it says e-commerce strategy and you're going to get this view. So that is this strategy in a nutshell. Now you know how it works. Now you know how to use it. Now, before we wrap this up, in the next lecture, I want to show you something known as the ads library. So if you're thinking, well, that's great, Robin, but how do I design my ads? Do you have any tips and ideas for how to improve them? What are my competitors doing? And where do I draw the inspiration from? Well, in the next lecture, I'm going to show you something known as the ads library. So you can actually look at how your competitors selling similar products to you are designing their ads, right? So then all you need to do is copy success, or at least follow a similar line. So that means that if you copy success, you're probably going to be successful as well. So we're going to look at that in the next lecture. So see you in the next lecture.